What is this?
We are the people who make sure things happen according to plan.
We monitor the entire world.
Can't outrun your fate, David.
You've just seen behind a curtain that you weren't even supposed to know existed. This is your plan, and we're determined to keep it that way. You bumped into a woman this morning on the bus.
Were you just staring at my legs?
I was defenseless against the dress.
What does that have to do with anything? Your path through the world is supposed to have been adjusted. You weren't ever supposed to see her again.
If you truly love her, just walk away.
All right, talking about the adjustment burr. The adjustment burr. You know.
Now, I didn't see this movie, but near as I can tell, somebody said, okay, Matt Damon, you look enough like Leonardo DiCaprio. We're going to make a movie that's basically the hereafter meets Inception.
It was more like Jason Bourne meets the cosmic cockblockers. You know, because these guys in hats are doing everything they can to keep Matt Damon from fucking this chick.
It was more like the Romantrix. Yeah. You know, it was like a romantic drama meets The Matrix, really.
See,
well, I'll tell you
well,
what,
that sounds like what I just said.
Well, when I saw the trailer, all I thought was somebody's ripping off Dark City. That's all I thought, really.
And it's funny, like you would think that, and that would probably be the closest and most apt description, at least on the outside. But you know what? Honestly, this film wants to be a character-based piece, and the science fiction of it all, which is that basically the world of madmen secretly controls the entire world and adjusts stuff as is necessary based on some kind of divine law, you know, is a sideline to the relationship between Matt Damon, who plays an up-and-coming politician, and Emily Blunt, who doesn't really matter what she does because she's Emily Blunt.
She's a ballerina.
And the thing, the real flaw here, and the main thing that I think is going to keep some of the audience from liking this film, is that Matt Damon barely notices that there are these guys who control everything, who have magical doors that can go anywhere. They're like, you know what? This is just irritating that this happens. This irritates me that I even know about this. Now that chick, I totally want to fall in love and have babies with her.
Hey, man, it's Emily Blunt. Maybe it's not as unrealistic as you say.
Well, it is Emily Blunt, and I'll give him that. But even so, there's a point that goes, you know what? You can hook up with this chick, or you can have control over space and time. Which would you like?
Yeah, basically this movie tells you if you wear a cool-ass suit and a hat, you can control anybody's destiny.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like the cast of Mad Men.
And maybe the movie's been sponsored by Brooke Brothers.
Maybe so. I don't know, man. But
Men's Warehouse.
The big and tall shop, you know, where you can like find a suit and control time. But in this movie, they're advertising it in a way that is just totally false. I mean, this is more of a Hepburn Tracy type movie. It wants to be a romantic film. Yeah, it's not a comedy, but it's like, but there are so many moments of lightheartedness in this movie, and you're looking at the trailer, and you think like, oh, this is going to be a dark thriller. But you know, when in a movie, when people are chasing you in a suit, you know, you did something fucked up, something real fucked up. I mean, it's like, that guy got a hat on. Oh shit, it's on now, you know.
Okay, now see, that's so funny that everything we mentioned, we mentioned Inception, The Matrix, Dark City, all those kind of dark cyber thrillers, and now you're telling me it's nothing like it.
No, it's based on a Philip K. Dick story, right?
Okay.
And so was The Truman Show, if that tells you anything at all. Okay. And the idea being that, like, look, you can take these things that could be dark if you chose to focus that way, or you could focus on the really human aspect of it. And this focuses on the really human aspect.
Yeah, it's a romantic film. Yeah, I mean, it's a love story. It is. And what you're doing here is like
ultimately it asks its audience, like, you know, do you believe that love is destined? And that's the one question.
No. Next.
I don't believe in that either, but it is a fantasy and it wears that on its sleeve.
Basically, this movie is about guys who can control fate by opening doors. You know, they work with cool suits, and if they open a door, they can get all around the city. They have the best mass transportation system ever invented. But what this movie deals with is
it's like the doorman at a New York apartment building.
It still closes down at midnight.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't know how much power that doorman had. That velvet rope ship, you know, they not joking with that. But listen,
you piss them off. You don't tip that door guy. You might walk out on the deck of the Titanic next time.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so this movie is basically basically Monsters Inc.
In a way, yeah. I mean,
wow.
let me just tell you what the movie's about. It does, he's right. It's like it deals with fate a lot. Because Matt Damon, he plays a politician. He meets this girl who's little old skink pervert is hiding out in the men's bathroom. And, he's like, to hell with my career. This chick right here has got me infatuated. I mean, she's got some pheromones for your ass. I don't know what kind of perfume she was wearing, but he cannot get her off his mind. And it seems like every time they meet each other, something gets in the way to keep them from like having a date or having some sort of meeting somewhere. And by the way, the chick is crazy. So I don't even, and then you got to wonder, like, this must be fate, because when he first meets her, the bitch is like throwing coffee on his lap and taking his cell phone and breaking it. And the whole time he's just like, oh, you're so cute.
Yeah, but it's Emily Blunt. So.
But it's Emily Blunt.
Enough said.
I was like, that sounds like an average day for Cyrus without the Emily Blunt.
Yeah, that's him stalking a chick.
No, that's why I don't go out to lunch with Pillows. But while all this is going on, there's this group of like guys who seem to be wandering around the outskirts with trench coats and hats and talking to each other about things that are happening. You're like, well, what exactly is going on? Is this a spy?
Well, the reason why you learn that the reason why he is so into her, because you do wonder, like, what is it about this bitch that is making you throw everything away? And there's a book. And in that book, everything is planned out for your life. Now, they do say that there's free will, but not really.
You can have as much free will as we allow you to have.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah,
there is free will. Like, sure, you decide what you're going to have for breakfast. You decide all these things. But there are certain things that are written.
There's certain things that aren't going to change. You see this picture right here where you're burning alive in a car wreck? Sorry. You can't avoid it. Yeah, but so there's a mix-up. You're right. It's like the Matrix. There's a glitch in the system. Turns out that he was never supposed to meet this girl.
Of course, the black guy's the one who fucks.
Yeah, he's the one he's the one that always delivers the news. Hey, boy, go tell him this one's supposed to happen. Yes, sir. But yeah, he was never supposed to meet this girl. He was supposed to meet somebody else. But it's too late. He's already seen her. He's already attracted to her. He has to go for her.
And they're watching this book as like, they're going, God damn, if they kiss, it's too late. If they kiss, it's too late. Don't let it dance.
And at the point, they throw a rock at somebody's head. Bam.
It's really funny as hell watching these guys trying to chase them down just to keep them from hitting romance peaks to like, it's like they're playing The Sims, really, I mean, except they don't want the characters to get together.
See, to me, this sounds like some stalker's fantasy in his head. Like, the only reason I can't hook up with her is because these guys, these fate agents are stopping it. But if they weren't in the way, me and her, we would be in love like Romeo and Juliet.
Hey, it works for me, okay?
Yeah, and these fake agents we're talking about is Mo, Larry, and Curly.
It's like they never stop to wonder. It's fake. They never stop to wonder, like, why is it every time we kiss, we get hurt? Something bad is about to happen,
Well, if there's 8 or 9 guys just working on Matt Damon, how many are working on all the other billion of us?
Well, that's part of the problem is that they establish early on. There's only so many of them, actually. So it's kind of, if something starts to go wrong, like they scramble. It's like, oh, Jesus, fuck. I mean, literally, Jesus, fuck. Get on the chair. Get him on the phone. You got to do something. And you know what? I mean, early on, they reveal to him, they say, okay, look, the last time we went through this with someone where they caught us doing something, because he walks in on them adjusting a situation. Like everyone's frozen. They're moving people around like something out of Dark City. Yeah. And of course he panics. They actually go, look, all right, the last time this happened with somebody, we went through like years of trying to bullshit them. And finally, what did we do? We just leveled with them. So let's just cut all that bullshit out and just tell them what the deal is. All right, this is the deal. There's a divine plan then they just call him the chairman. It's never God or whatever.
Okay.
And this is just how things have to be. And you are not supposed to be with her. And if you insist on following this path, or if you tell anyone about us,
we will kill you.
We'll wipe your brain. You'll be a drooling idiot.
Well, basically,
brain damage.
Okay. All those homeless people you see on the street, fuck with the Adjustment Bureau. They had a life at one time because his brain was white because they just couldn't play the game. Tried to go up against the system.
That's Corey's premise.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you guys?
We are the people who make sure things happen according to plan. My name's Richardson. You really think I couldn't see that coming? I can read your mind. Yeah, really. Pick a color. Blue. Pick a number, 17. Now, why are you still thinking about running?
This is based on the Philip K. Dick novel. As we all know, there's so many movies out there that are based on his novels. Probably the most famous is Blade Runner, but then you have things like Total Recall, and then you have Minority Report, and Paycheck. Oh, come on now. Damn, you done?
Dreamers.
But all these are twisted around into something different. I never read this story. I don't know how long it is. Don't know if it's a novel or a short story. I think it's a short story. But what they managed to do here is that they're pitching this as a thriller. Guys with suits chasing, it's always bad news. But really what you have here are very lighthearted moments throughout the film. Very lighthearted moments with Emily Blunt and Matt Damon. They do a lot of cute things because of this romance that's evolving. And then, as Cyrus said, there's a lot of funny parts. I mean, that's where the comedy comes in, because these guys, they're not evil guys. They're not dark guys.
Yeah, they're not dark at all.
No, never. There's never a moment where you feel like Matt Damon or Emily Blunt's life is in danger. The most that's in danger is their jobs. That's it.
And these guys, they're kind of incompetent at points, is what's kind of funny. I mean, they're fucking up, and they're like, God, I can't believe this. How did we miss that? It's like, this guy's too good. Thinking about it, it makes me think more of something like, because it's the romance angle is so strong to it. It's really more about that, but it is still a thriller. It reminds me more of something like North by Northwest, those type of old school things, or what's that, Charade, where it's like, okay, the romance is the core of the film, and that little bit of light comedy around it, and the chemistry being so important. And sure enough, here, the chemistry between the two leads, it pops. I mean, these two really sparkle together.
See, you and I had total disagreement on this because
really,
yeah, because
that's the main thing everybody.
Yeah, no, because this reminded me of Scooby Doo, where they kept where they got the hallway and they kept running to the doors and coming out of it. I was like, and that's the thing about Emily Blunt and Matt Damon. To me, they really don't connect.
Wow. I think you're a crazy person, because I thought
the Adjustment Bureau would come and I'm sure change my fate at some point. I'll put me on the street.
I'm gonna adjust your fate.
But right now, I don't hate this movie. It's just a slow film, and I was kind of bored by it.
I was going to say, am I going to be bored at this? Because that's what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, it sounded cool at the beginning.
I don't know if you will or not. I keep saying about this. I thought this film was, quite honestly, really charming. I really did. I thought that, it was a film that could have gone either way. It could have gone really bad, because it's an iffy premise to start with. Let's sell you on a romance film in the middle of all this science fiction going on, right? But it does work. The sci-fi as it is, it's really more of a supernatural thing than sci-fi. It's not dogmatic in any sense. You can stamp it with any imprint you feel like on top of it if it makes you happy. It's just sort of a generally touchy-feely spiritual type of interpretation of angels and God, but in a business-like way anyway. I mean, we're not talking about Nicholas Sparks here as that type of romance.
Okay. Well, and there are people that I'd like. All the actors in here, I like them. Emily Blunt.
General Zod, how's he?
General Zod is Terrence Stamp.
Yeah.
All the actors in here. Of course, Matt Damon's good. Emily Blunt is good. I just don't feel like that they're not bad together. I just felt like, okay, I don't feel like there's any real romance. And there's nothing really in the movie that's keeping me fully interested. It's an interesting premise, and the way they explain why the Adjustment Bureau is there, which we kind of mentioned earlier. I love the premise more than I actually love the story. Anthony Mackie comes in as a supporting character and has his character get stronger in the film. I actually find myself more interested in him than in Matt Damon or Emily Blunt. I thought the pacing was kind of slow. And like I said, there's no real feeling of danger or urgency here, because the Adjustment Bureau is kind of silly sometimes.
Wow. Okay. So that trailer completely lied to me.
Yeah,
well, assuming that you're listening to Corey, from my point of view, I don't agree with anything that you just said at all. Like I said, I mean, I really feel strongly that those guys had, quite frankly, spectacular chemistry together. I thought they were on fire on screen right from the get-go. I mean, I was interested in almost entirely because of that. It's like, wow, I really want to see these two guys get together. One, because Matt Damon is a really interesting character. He's that ideal politician. He's the guy who's not just pretending to be the I'm one of you. He actually is. He's a decent guy. You know, you genuinely like him. She's not crazy. She's an artist, and she comes across as honest and really, really likable at the same time. Quirky, but not in a bad, watch out for this girl sort of way.
Those are the ones you got to watch out for, actually.
Yeah, I was more interested in seeing what door they'll open next. I'm expecting the door to see the fat lady taking a shit, or open the door, there's a T-Rex coming towards the door. I want to see the door that open up.
Turn out that light.
Yeah, I want to see the door that open up and the train was coming towards the door. You know, I want to see that kind of thing. I was like, okay, right. I'm more interested in this, and it's not a bad movie, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, I know you're passionate about this.
Yeah,
I am disagreeing with you, but I'm not. I don't. You know me, and this kind of thing is like you got this. You at this point now where you're passionate and you're ready to jump on me about this, and I'm just kind of like, I don't give a fuck who likes this movie. Just like, that's just me. Enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm not even passionate about it. Like I said, I really genuinely liked this film a lot. I did not love it. I thought there were moments that were too slow for it. I felt like it staggered its pacing a lot of times because there's points that suddenly skips whole years. It's like 3 years later, 6 years later, and you're like, wow, okay, well that just kind of took the energy out of the whole thing. So it's not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination, but when it works, it really works. And so much of that is due to the cast and how well they work together. I mean, it's a great premise from the beginning, and I feel like it could have really screwed up at the end, and they made it work. They totally sold it to me. And this film, to me, it's a low full price, but it is a full price nonetheless.
Okay. Well, I need to adjust your opinions on this. No, that's good. I'm glad.
I already made that joke.
I know.
Now you're adjusting the timeline.
One of you guys pick a door.
I know. As the editor, he can go back and adjust it so that he makes the joke first.
It was always, he does that anyway.
Yeah. He'll re-edit it to where it's like a horrible film from your point of view.
I'm like thinking, where are the guys with the hats and the suits coming after you right now? And I'm not talking about the Adjustment Bureau. I'm talking about the Funny Farm. Listen, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think
I've seen that you use that spare bedroom for. I'm calling the FBI.
Hey man, I'm glad you liked it, and I think it's an interesting enough film where certain people will like it. I'm just on the lower end of it. I don't think it's bad. I actually enjoyed parts of it, but as a whole, I was just not finding myself caring very much. And by the end of it, I liked it enough to give it a high rental, just based on like a very interesting story.
Oh, that's it. It is awesome.
Even as Captain Matinee, he said to give it a rental.
I'm sorry, man. Maybe if Scooby-Doo actually came out of one of those doors.
Hey, man, I said it every week. Put Scooby-Doo in some of these movies and make it so much better.
They take the mask off of Anthony Mackie. He's old man, whoever, all that kind of stuff.
Old man Jenkins.
Old man Jenkins. There you go.
Stay with her. It not only kills your dreams, it kills hers.
I don't care what you put in my way. I'm not giving up.
They're making a run for it.
What the hell is going on?
I need you to trust me.
Okay.
All I have are the choices I make, and I choose her.
Just remember, we tried to reason with you.